Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the ultimate strategy to crack IPMAT Rohtak. In case if you are aspiring for IIM Rohtak, this video is crucial for you. Before you get into the actual strategy to crack IPMAT Rohtak 2025, let's have a look at the actual paper pattern of the 2024. In the exam of IPMAT Rohtak, if you see the last year, quantitative ability 40 questions and 40 minutes time, logical reasoning 40 questions, 40 minutes time, verbal ability 40 questions and 40 minutes time. The total number of questions is 120 and the time limit given is 2 hours or 120 minutes. In addition to this exam pattern, let's also have a look at the last 3 years cutoffs for IIM Rohtak for different category people. So let's have a look at the cutoff for the different category people. If you see here for general, NC, OBC and SC and ST category people, of 2024 it is given as 301 and 225 for NC, OBC, 167 and 118. One thing you guys have to remember very clearly, don't just target for only cutoff. The cutoff means the last person who entered into IIM, how much score he got. Probably if you want to enter in the first list or the second list of the IIM Rohtak, it's definitely good to target much better than the cutoff. I always recommend for the students not just focus only on the cutoff. Don't just depend. Just learn the numbers. It's good to have a 40%, 50% is bigger than the actual cutoff marks. And if you look at the cutoffs also, it keeps changing. In 2022, it's 306 and it's 409, again 301. Means the cutoff is going up and coming down and it's very volatile. Why it is volatile? If you see, if the paper level of difficulty is very high, probably the cutoff will go up. If the paper is a bit difficult, a lot of people may not answer all the questions, so obviously it comes down, right? So if you just depending or relying only on the cutoff, it's not a good suggestion. Right? We will also discuss what is the ideal score that you should target to get into IIM Rohtak. So before we look at the ideal target for IPMAT 2025, let's understand the selection process for IIM Rohtak. If you look at the selection process for IIM Rohtak, the 45% weightage is given for IPMAT exam and 15% weightage is given for your personal interview and 20% for your 10th class marks and 20% for 12th class marks, right? So, let's say that if some student is doing pretty well in academics, probably they have a 95 plus percentage. Even if something is less in this one, it's not a problem. But at this moment, for all the serious aspirants, forget about your academics. Even you're stronger, weak, try to maximize the score here. My recommendation for all the serious aspirants of IPMAT Rohtak, at least try to get 400 to 410. I'm writing 410 here, 400 to 410 because 409 is the maximum cutoff last year. This year is actually the cutoff is down, but I suggest to go for 410. You have a wonder, how can we get 410? So I will discuss that point also. How can we get into the 410 if the paper is moderate? If the paper is easy, probably the maximum cutoff can be 400. If the paper is difficult, the cutoff can go down to 300, 310, 320 also. So, but it's try to aspire at this moment for 310 out of 480. Yeah, as I mentioned, you guys are wondering how we can get the 410. At this moment, it's good to target for the big thing and the best score. So don't compromise on just, I just try to get the 400, 350, or 360. Don't think in that way. Try to aspire for 410. Make the strategies and implement the strategies for this target, this score of the 410. Let's see here. So my recommendation for the candidates is there are 3 sections. The one is QA, and second is logical reasoning, and third is DI. From my experience of the last 10 years of training students for IPMAT, I know that logical reasoning section, everybody will do good. Every student will do good. A lot of students, 90% students, they do very well in logical reasoning. But they face the problem in QA or, this is only one section, verbal ability, right? So my suggestion is make one thing between these two things are very strong, very strong. Of course, you're also preparing for IPMAT Indoor, but in case, so Indoor is a lot of pure mathematics. I'm not focusing on Indoor. And if you're focusing only on Rohtak, still I suggest make either this section or this section. One section is very strong. Of course, every student is strong in this section, but between these two things, one thing you should be very, very strong. So the other section, maybe, let's say that I came from, I'm very pro at mathematics. Probably VA, I'll try to maximize my score. But QA, I'll try to get the best score. Right? So out of this 410, if you're targeting, let's say that out of 40 questions here, 40 questions here, and 40 questions here. Altogether, if you get the 410 score, if you're answering just 110 questions, 110 into 4, you're getting 440. Maybe if something goes wrong, 110 questions you should answer. Obviously here, they should be high. They should be high. And there will be, between these two sections, one section you can leave 5 or 6 questions. Probably here also you can leave 1 or 2 questions. So try to answer 110 questions is the target. You make your own strategies, because it keeps changing from person to person. Is it possible to make a right strategy without understanding the different sections and different chapters in each and every section? No. Even somebody is making a strategy without understanding how many questions actually appeared in the last 3 years in IPMAT Rohtak, it's not possible to make a right strategy. So I suggest it's good to analyze where the questions are actually coming from. So let's have a look at first we'll go for the quantitative aptitude. In quantitative aptitude, if you see, I'm taking the last 3 years of the question papers. And number systems, we have got 13 questions. Number systems. Numbers means I can tell you some of the things. You have to basic idea about the numbers, classification, prime number, co-primes, and factors, some of the factors, product of the factors, and trialing the number of zeros, LCM models, HCF models, reminders, and also last digit, finding out the last digit, finding last two digits. All these kind of things you should be very careful. And next is one of the simplest chapter, percentage, you are getting 10 questions. Here also averages also you are getting 10 questions. And profit and loss also getting 9 questions, and here 6 questions. And lot of the times, most of the chapters here are focusing on the arithmetic. And almost 60 to 70% paper is focusing on the arithmetic. And if you look at the pure mathematics, permutation combination we have, and the probability we have, and if you look at the geometry, mensuration kind of things here, geometry, yes, geometry if you see here 6 questions, and trigonometry 3 questions. But on the other side, if you look at the IPMAT indoor, gives a lot of weightage for the pure mathematics chapters. Here, if someone is good at arithmetic, probably they have a very high chance of getting the good score in this one. Prioritize based on these things. I'm not taking the 1 year data, I'm taking the last 3 years, 2021, 2022, 2023. Of course, 2024 paper, we have not yet came anywhere, so that we are taking the before 3 years data. So after looking at all these chapters, you might wonder, where should you start? So it's good to focus on, we have a September, October, November, December, and January. Let's say you're focusing February, March, and April for your exams, your board exams. So we have September, October, November, December, January, 5 months time. In every month, pick up 3 chapters, 3 chapters of your choice. And it's good to pick up the chapters based on this weightage. I suggest, let's say if you're picking up 2 chapters from the quantitative aptitude, arithmetic side, pick up 1 chapter from pure mathematics. Don't miss pure mathematics if you want to maximize your score. If you want to arrive at just at the cutoff, there will become a problem. It's good to focus simultaneously and parallelly on hand with the arithmetic parts and pure mathematics part. Let's say in 1 month, so I'll pick up here for the month of September. If month of September you're focusing on numbers and percentages, immediately pick up one more thing from the pure mathematics. Probably you can start with the mensuration formulas and 2D and 3D. Next month you can focus on 2 or 3 more chapters. What I will do is after this video, we'll come up with the detailed solution of how to make a plan for the next 5 months for the people who are preparing for the IPMAT exam while doing their +2. So while you're picking up these 3 chapters for every month, make sure that these 5 chapters gets completed, because these 5 chapters you got the highest number of questions in the last 3 years of IPMAT Rohtak paper. Number systems, profit and loss and discount, percentages, ratio, proportion, averages. And trust me, this could be helpful for all kind of BBA entrance exams, not just for IPMAT Rohtak, even for IPMAT indoor also similar kind of things. Even for JIPMAT, even if you're writing symbiosis entrance test or NPAT, any kind of entrance test, these chapters are very, very important, and it could be a common part. Even if you're not able to crack this exam also, this would be helpful for other exams. I'll show you how to make a plan for IPMAT Rohtak. As I mentioned, September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months time. I'll show you for 1 month. Let's say that you're starting your preparation in the month of September. What you can do is pick up 3 chapters. Pick up 3 chapters of your choice based on the scores. Let's say that I'm picking up percentages this month. And because percentage is very, very important for DA also. And I'm also taking care of ratio, proportion, variation. And I'll pick up mensuration, because I'm focusing on this part. So a lot of students, what they will do is, they will just focus on arithmetic chapters. And it's good to inject, it's good to digest the pure mathematics. So these 3 chapters pick up. In every chapter, try to complete at least 150 to 200 high quality questions, not a basic level questions, high quality questions. So 150 to 200 questions. Let's say we have 30 days time. In this 30 days time, if you're daily just solving 15 questions, probably from these chapters, you're solving 450 questions. You will get some confidence about these 3 chapters, right? In addition to this, and I strongly recommend also focus on building your speed. Building your speed means do some speed exercises. Do some speed exercise in the basic addition, basic multiplication, basic division, basic tables, basic factors. A lot of exercises you can do on the building your speed, because for exams like IPMAT Rohtak, speed is essential because you need to answer a lot of questions. We have 2 hours time and 120 minutes time. If you compare this 2 hours, 120 minutes with the other exams, like if you look at the IIM Indoor, IPMAT Indoor, we have 2 sections. We have 2 sections and the cutoff is also not so high as Rohtak. So Rohtak is looking for the more speed. The speed only comes in 3 areas. The one is you must have a great understanding speed of the question. Second is your calculation speed. And the third is thought. Thought means when you look at the question, are you able to get the thought immediately? This thought only comes when you're practicing more number of questions. So in every month plan, I strongly recommend pick up 3 chapters, 2 chapters from arithmetic and 1 chapter from pure mathematics. And in addition to this, every day, just practice 10 to 15 minutes on the basic exercise. Like example, I'm talking about the basic tables, like what is 12 into 13, what is 13 into 14, basic squares and basic percentage, what is 1 by 2, what is 1 by 4, what is 1 by 5. These things also will be helpful. Example, in the percentage question, the A salary is 16.67% more than the B salary. Means when you see the 16.67%, it should immediately get 16.67% 1 by 6. If there's somewhere, I can still remember one of the IPMAT question, they're talking about 7.69% more. 7.69% is nothing but 1 by 13. How far and how good you are able to recollect these kind of basic things. So a lot of people, they just focus only on practicing the questions and they say that I complete this chapter. So it's also good to focus on speed. And one more important thing, while you're practicing, please be very careful about putting the timer. Don't practice the question just like that. You can do 2 kind of practice, active practice and passive practice. Let me change the ink. Active practice and passive practice. What is this active practice? Active practice means if you're solving 15 questions, sit alone for 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes and don't get disturbed by anything. Solve the 15 questions and leave it. This is called active practice. Passive practice means solving 1 question, taking a 2 to 3 minutes break and coming back and solving this question. This you can do in between your classes. Between your classes, what you can do is you can focus on solving 1 question. Because this is also keep thinking about your IPMAT exam and it also keep improving your skill. Let's have a look at the IPMAT Rohtak verbal ability section, and from the last 2019 to 2023, almost we have taken 5 years papers. In all these 5 years, cumulatively, if you look at here, the highest number of questions appeared from 46 questions has appeared from the reading comprehension section. Reading comprehension, we have almost 46 questions. And the second highest number of questions here, 23 here, 23 here, 23 from sentence correction, and this 23 is from the idioms and phrases. And next 22 questions here and 22 questions here. The 22 questions from para-jumbles here, and this is from synonyms and antonyms. If you look at, there is other questions from the direct indirect speech also. Direct indirect speech, all these things comes from the grammar part. If I divide all these things into 3 different buckets, the one is the grammar part, second is vocabulary, and the third is the reading comprehension, para-jumbles and para-completion, right? So when you're making a plan for this next 5 months, how you made a plan for the quantitative aptitude, here also, please make sure you're also taking care of the 3 things, the grammar part, which could be helpful for sentence correction, and for vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, idioms and phrases, all these questions comes under the vocabulary part. And para-jumbles, para-completions and reading comprehension, you must read a lot. Every day, at least you should read 1 reading comprehension and 2-3 para-jumbles and 2-3 para-completion. In addition to this, please build a reading as a habit. So that could be also helpful for big time. If you look at here, what I told earlier, the same thing is here. Reading comprehension, para-jumbles, para-completion is the 1 block. Vocabulary and grammar is the 3rd block. So every day, focus on these 3 or these 4 blocks clearly. Every day, try to learn 20 to 30 words, and also grammar. Practice at least a week. Let's take that this week you're practicing some 100 questions or 50 questions from grammar, and go in order. If you're practicing today nouns and pronouns questions, and next week you can focus on the tenses questions. And please be in our very order. We will make a separate, video for how to prepare for the verbal ability, and we'll also bring the expert in this area. And in addition to this, I strongly recommend for general reading is the key. Either you should pick up a magazine or a book or a newspaper. Newspaper, if you are reading at least weekly 3 days, you should read, because in interview also, this 15% weightage is given also about how you're aware of your surroundings. It's good to read newspaper. That could be a double advantage. It could be helpful for your verbal ability section, and also you're getting to know a lot about what's happening in the world. Let's also have a look at the IPMAT Rohtak logical reasoning number of questions appeared in the last 5 years. If you look at the highest number of questions has appeared, 28 questions appeared from sitting arrangement, and next 22 questions appeared from critical reasoning part, and 19 questions has appeared from Silox, and next 16 questions has appeared from number series, and next 14 questions has appeared from coding decoding, and 11 questions appeared from analogy odd man out, and here also 111 is there for data sufficiency, right? So many times people will answering all kind of things. Critical reasoning, they will leave it. It's good to focus in addition to all these things on critical reasoning also, because so many students in logical reasoning section, they leave critical reasoning. So what you can do is, while you're making a plan for all these 5 months, for September, October, November, December, January, so you can pick up 2 chapters or 3 chapters every month based on this weightage. It's your choice. In the first month, I strongly recommend focus on the, not this 28. Anyway, sitting arrangement you should keep doing for every month. And let's focus on the next highest is 22 questions is a critical reasoning. Next is 19. Critical reasoning puzzles, do it every day, and the remaining things you can divide. Let's say that 19 questions, Celox you can complete in the first month, and next highest questions is number series also you can complete in the first month. So 2 chapters I have picked up, but for the sitting arrangement and critical reasoning, I suggest keep practicing. Keep practicing for all the 5 months, because sitting arrangement, I can't say that you are done with by just solving some 50 to 60 questions. You should sharpen your mind for these 2 things. Guys, that's all about all the 3 sections, and in the coming days we are coming up with the exact strategy to prepare for IPMAT Rohtak and IPMAT Indoor in each and every section. How to prepare for quantitative aptitude, how to prepare for logical reasoning, how to prepare for verbal ability. We are coming with a very exciting content that could be great helpful for your preparation. Stay tuned to this channel.